Brad Stevens continues with his dark magic because the Boston Celtics, I think, are going to be just fine this year. Sure, they don't have Jayson Tatum, who is an MVP caliber talent every single year. He's up there in the MVP discussions. But what they've done, going out and getting a ton of guys who they understand that this is a year that is pretty much lost. Maybe they can scrape and claw in the playoffs and, get a late run if Tatum comes back. But going out and getting guys like Anfernee Simons, Chris Boucher, Josh Minott, just to name a few, having all these guys on 1-year prove-it deals so you can assess your roster after the season is genius. And the best part is, of all these prove-it deals, at least one, maybe two, hopefully three are going to hit, and you're going to have long-term pieces for the future. Like, take, for example, Josh Minott, who has been ultra impressive in the preseason. In this game against the Raptors at home, he put up 16 points, 6 boards, a steal, and an assist in just 23 minutes on 5 of 9 shooting from the field, shot 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. He's been really good. He looks like a guy that could potentially be a rotation piece in the future. Getting the steal here, and at 6'9", with that 7-foot wingspan, he's still very young, obviously coming out of Memphis, so he could definitely be a guy you could help build around Tatum and Brown in the future with just a long range wing. I mean, look at this, right? Shireman swings it over to him. Craig Porter Jr. is a little late on the closeout, and then Minott's just going to attack this and get right downhill, double clutch midair, and hang on the rim. That's ridiculous. And then working out of the pick and roll here, he is the throw behind and knocks down the 3 ball. And then taking a look at this next game here, a self pass to himself. I mean, that one's probably not going to work out more times than not, but he got it to go there. He finished with 13 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, and a block in 23 minutes in Toronto. Shot 6 of 10 from the field, 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. His 3-point shooting is definitely where he needs to improve, but that's a strong drive to the left-hand side, and he gets it to go. Boucher gives him one more to the corner here for the corner 3, and you can see by Mazzulla's reaction that's what he loves to see. In the G League, he averaged 22, 6.5, and then 3 stocks per game, shot 51% from the field, but only 30% from 3. So that is definitely the improvement that you want to see there in 8 games for the Timberwolves G League squad last year. And Minott, like I said, I'm excited to seeing a full year out of him in Boston. Definitely could be a guy they decide to keep long term. And then Boucher is another guy here they could decide to keep long term. They signed him to a 1-year, $2.6 million prove-it deal, just like Minott, just like Luka Garza. I mean, just like all these guys, that it is a prove-it year for him, pretty much a 1-year tryout. And Boucher looks to make the most of this. He finished with 19 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 stocks. Shot 7 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from beyond the 3-point line against his former team. And then, going in, flying in, crashing the glass, getting this tap back to go. That was a really impressive tap back there. The 3-point shooting at 6'9" with a 7'4" wingspan, any 3-point shooting is just a bonus. But that ridiculous +7 wingspan there is going to be great defensively. And then offensively, you're seeing the 3-point abilities here, and then getting downhill, finishing with that left hand. He is just so long. Pause. And then you have Anfernee Simons, who is just 26 years old. You brought him over for Drew Holiday. He fits the timeline of guys like Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum. And man, when you watch this guy play, you cannot help but see shades of Damian Lillard. I mean, he's called Baby Dame for a reason. It's all over his game. I mean, look at this. Just get into his spot, step back, bang, knocking it down. If he continues to play like this and play like he did last year in Portland, he could be really good. Definitely a perimeter threat. This is exactly what Mazzulla wants to see. He made 4 threes in this game versus the Cavs the other night in what was a Celtics blowout. Last year averaged 19.3 points, 4.1 assists, 2.7 rebounds per game. You see him right here getting right to the rim against Drummond in the drop coverage. He's a lead out of the pick and roll as well, working with Donovan Clingan right here. Now, he's not going to have anybody as big as Clingan last year for the Celtics this year, but hey, Joe Mazzulla wants to see that 3-point shooting, and that's what Simons does. They brought him in on a 1-year, $27 million deal. I think he's going to fit in perfectly here in Boston while they wait for Tatum to recover, and what is essentially a prove-it year deal for him as well. Now as for Jaylen Brown, first year playing really without Jayson Tatum for an extended period of time. Of course, he signed that 5-year, $315 million contract a couple years ago that made him the highest paid player in the league. So it's time for him to back that up, right? Last year, he averaged 23 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and 1.2 steals in 34 minutes per game. However, when it came down to it in the playoffs, he didn't play well. He was injured, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but he shot 32% from 3 last year, which is not good, especially on 6.5 attempts per game, 46% from the field. That's pretty solid. But this is a big year for Brown as well. I mean, essentially everybody in Boston has a prove-it year this year as they wait for Jayson Tatum to come back. And without Tatum, throughout his career, he's averaged 27 points, 7 rebounds, and 3.7 assists per game over the course of 39 games played. So we'll see if he can continue that hot streak up where if he's the number one option, he can prove that he can go out and be a guy that can be an all-NBA guy, right? Derrick White, 16.4 points per game for him last year, 4.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists in 34 minutes, shot 44% from the field and 38% from 3 on 8 attempts a game. And now he gets the opportunity to go from, the number 4 option and essentially a really, really good role player to now the number 2 option. And we'll see what he makes out of it. I think he's going to look really, really good this year. And then another guy that's been waiting for this opportunity pretty much for his whole career is Peyton Pritchard, because he has never once been unleashed in Boston like he will be unleashed this year. He put up 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal in just 25 minutes the other day against the Raptors in this preseason game that we're looking at. 7 of 17 from the field, 3 of 8 from beyond the arc. And I mean, he's just going to have the green light, especially off that bench, because I do think they will start Simons over Pritchard. But Pritchard's going to be coming in with a very weak bench unit this year. Very unlike years past with Boston where they've had deep benches. It's going to be the Peyton Pritchard show off the bench this year. Sam Hauser is a guy here that I thought they'd trade in the offseason because they signed him to that 4-year, $45 million extension after they won the finals. And then he greatly underperformed that contract this year, and then in the playoffs averaged a whopping 3.5 points a game and 1.5 rebounds in 8 games played, scoring a total of 28 points in the playoffs last year, whereas he's getting paid $45 million. As for Baylor Shireman, I thought he was going to be the guy that replaces Sam Hauser, but so far I've been wrong. I was really high on him when they drafted him. He's just been really inefficient. Hit a couple threes here against Memphis, and other than his efficiency, he's looked like he kind of belongs on an NBA court, and over his last 16 games last year, he averaged 6.3 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 1.6 assists with a steal per game, and the efficiency wasn't bad, where he shot 41% from the field and 38% from 3 on 3 attempts. However, in the preseason, he has just not gotten anything to go. Hopefully, this is a big year for him as well. Same thing with Hugo Gonzalez. He's going to get some opportunity here in the league to make an impact in his rookie season, and we'll see if he's able to do it. Knocking down this 3-ball here is a huge step in the right direction, because that's the big question mark for Gonzalez. He's 6'7". He's got a great frame, and he's got great athleticism. If he can knock down the 3-ball, that's going to be the defining factor to his game. And you've seen over in Spain, he has proved he can do it a little bit. Nice runner here. He's got ball skills, and he can play defense. He's got great athleticism. Can he shoot the 3-ball and fit into that Celtics system? It's going to be a big year for him. And then Neemias Queta, essentially, he also has a 1-year tryout deal with the Celtics, although he has been for a while a backup depth center on this team. So we'll see how well he plays. I think he's going to be pretty solid, more than serviceable in my opinion. And then you've got guys like Josh Minott, who we talked about, and Luka Garza. Luka Garza, who hasn't played bad so far in the preseason, hasn't really jumped off the screen, but he's looking like a good backup center and, has proved over time in the league to have carved out a role for himself. He did that last year with Minnesota from time to time when they needed him, when they needed depth, and I think he can do it this year with Boston. Of course, he's on his 1-year prove-it deal as well. Now, as for Jayson Tatum, originally we didn't think he was going to play this year, but now he's ahead of schedule, and if he can get back by March, maybe this Celtics team can build up some chemistry heading into the playoffs and can make another deep run. The Eastern Conference Finals have essentially been part of the Celtics schedule for the last 8 years until, of course, this year when Tatum gets hurt. They were already getting blown out by the Knicks. We'll see if they can return to being the dominant team in the Eastern Conference, and I think they will, without a doubt. With that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like button, leave me a comment down below, and then subscribe if you did enjoy at any point. With that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.